But I think it's really important for the students to actually remember that. You mentioned simple living and lifestyle. Now I'm going to shift to someone who is very busy. He is in Lucknow, Dinandayal Krishna Prabhu. He's very dynamic brahmachari. Prabhuji, as a preacher, as a brahmachari, why do you think it's important for us, cow protection?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as a brahmachari, as a preacher also, it is very important that we not just teach people our philosophy, but we also teach them how to live in synchronization with nature, and so that they can come closer to Krishna consciousness. They can come more closer to natural living. They can come more closer. They can connect to Krishna more, to the way of serving Krishna's cows, to the way of being with Krishna's cows. And also, because very essential part of our practice is also to keep and maintain mood of goodness. So when we are close to nature, and also when we are especially close to cows, that is that is very much in the mood of goodness, and that also helps us. So two things. One thing is it helps us to maintain mood of goodness, and second thing is it also helps us to connect with Krishna, because cows are dear to Krishna, and when we serve cows, it is very pleasing to Krishna. And people can connect more to it, especially in our town culture, in a city culture, where everything is so artificial and everything is so mechanized and it is so impersonal. So when people come close to cows and when people come close to farms, so it is very, very good. It's a very good experience for them, and it's very natural to them. Like
Thank you.
Prabhupada mentioned, one of the mission statements is to also teach people simple living. So that is how I understand it.
Thank you so much, Dinandar. That's excellent. You mentioned people get closer, and Damodar Dulao Prabhu is now very close to his cows. Actually, if you show his window, you see his cows outside his window. Yeah, there he is. So Damodar Dulao, for you, have been practicing for so long. What is the realization you had?
Right.
Why is it so important that why did Prabhupada put so much importance on cow protection? There you are. Oh, his beautiful gear cows. Wow, that's wonderful.
All the cows. Okay. Come again. Why did Prabhupada?
What's your realization? Why did Prabhupada put so much emphasis on simple living, high thinking, with emphasis on cow protection? You're doing it.
Right. It's really, I think, important for everybody to follow this, because our economy is oil based, and how long will that continue? So Prabhupada emphasized on, you produce what you need and you eat what you produce. Like for example, if you are in India, in suppose any part, suppose I'm in Mumbai, I have to eat a roti, a wheat roti. So I have to depend on the mercy of lakhs of people just to eat one roti on my plate. Because then, best wheat is grown in North India, in Punjab, Rajasthan, MP, UP. It will come to Mumbai by transport. So I'm depending on the transport industry. Then we need diesel. Then the whole Gulf, it comes from Middle East. Then the petroleum industry, the shipping industry, it will come by ships, and then it will go to a wholesaler, retailer, and then we can offer it and eat. But a farmer will grow his own food, and he will till the land, he'll grow his own food, he'll offer that to Krishna, and he'll eat. So there cannot be cows without agriculture, and there cannot be agriculture without cows. So during COVID time, we realized actually what we need is just food. So Prabhupada wanted us to take it seriously. I think so. That is the key. And there is so much pleasure in having our own food, growing our own food. You cannot compare that, I feel.
Well, I couldn't agree more with all you said. Just getting away from the grid and being able to produce your own food is such a pleasure that in itself would be a realization for so many people.
Like once Prabhupada was asked, why you, Swamiji, why you build so many temples? There are so many temples in the world. So Prabhupada said, why you have your own children when there are so many children in the world? To nurture your own children, to take care of them, it's a different pleasure. So similarly, to grow your own food from your own land and then offer it to Krishna, wow, it is so much pleasing to Krishna also, the entire process. And it is so much nourishing.
Thank you very much, Damodar Dolauji. That was wonderful. So I'm going to go back to Srila Prabhupada, and I'm going to try to share with all of you or remind us what we already know. And that is, what's happening here? No, it's not that. It's this. Give me a second. Let me get here this. Yes. Can you see it again? Are we back?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So let me just put here present. Give me a second. It's taking a little time. Yeah. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada, what he mentioned about, sorry, yeah, that's where we are. I'll call on volunteers. Debashish Chodan, could you read for us what's on the screen?
Yes. Cow protection. This Krishna consciousness movement is for the protection of Brahminical culture and cows.
Now just see how many times.
Lecture, Los Angeles.
Yes. So Debashish, just see how many times Srila Prabhupada has written in the purpose of his books, which is to be there for the next 10,000 years as books of reference for spirituality. Just imagine how many times he's written. This is just a small sample. Lectures, purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's saying that the Krishna conscious movement is for the protection of Brahminical culture and cows. So how central is that? It's a very central statement of how much this is important in his mission. Yes? So is it okay if I call on different students to make it more interactive? So let me go to Jagannath Prabhu. I'll ask you to read the next quote, which is coming up here.
Sure. Cow protection, the most important business of the human society.
Now, I'd like to ask Simeshwar Prabhu, who is here. Simeshwar Prabhu, he's in Malaysia. He's also a teacher, but he's taking the course. Are you there with us?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Some humble obeisance to everyone.
our humble obeisances to you. Why is cow protection the most important business of human society? Why is Prabhupada saying this?
Yeah, I think one of the main things is that cow protection is important because the cow gives milk. It's very good for fine brain tissues and for brahmacharis. From beginning of life, it's very important for one to develop the brain tissues. And also, as life goes on, we have samskaras, purificatory ceremonies. Practically all our purificatory ceremonies are involved with cow. And I think the very fact that if we do not involve in cow protection, that could also means we are involved in cow killing.
Yes.
Either we protect cows or we can't stay silent, and then we are encouraging cow killing. So therefore, cow protection is so important to show human society that we can live with cows. Not so much with other animals, but the very basis of cow is to be with humans and provide what humans need, and humans provide what the cows need. And then we have the trees and the agriculture is coming. So it's a very synonymous, harmonious living with cows, human, agriculture. That's some of the
Beautiful.
things that.
That's a beautiful sutra. We should write what you just said. Excellent. So I'm going to go on Anja. Thank you, Mr. Prabhu. And you can see the
Thank
depth
you,
of our
Prabhu.
teachers. You know, he's humbly taking a student position, but he's a very realized person in many ways. I'm going to go Anjana Nandana Prabhu. to read the next one. Are you there with us? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Cow protection. Without protection of cows, Brahminical culture cannot be maintained.
Okay. Now, that's a very strong statement. Without cow protection, Brahminical culture cannot be maintained. So we're just saying that all our Harinam, all our preaching will not be able to continue if we don't do cow protection. That's a strong statement. Let me take some help here. Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, you're there.
Yes, well, yes.
Can you give us some light?
Well, there's a very well-known verse in the Padma Purana where Lord Brahma is speaking to Narada Muni, and he said to him, if there's four things that are established at the very beginning of time, and if these four things were not established, the whole universe would have gone into ruination. What Lord Brahma says. These four things are the Vedas, fire, cows, and Brahmanas. They're essential for the whole universe to function properly. If those four items aren't in place, you can see the results. You've only got to look at the existing Kali Yuga to see these things are taken away, the whole society goes into ruination.
Thank you for that. That's a beautiful definition. And actually, when we look at the function that the cows have been given in the universe, it's very subtle. And people don't realize that. But when you attack the cow, you're basically attacking some vital functions of the universe. Like if you have a body and you attack the lungs or the heart, the whole body will fail. But those connections are very subtle and they're not realized by people. So our part of our job is to make people aware it's not a religious sentiment. It's actually a biological, ecological, and energetic flow in the universe. And that's something I want to bring to your attention. Prabhupada is very much clear on this, that if you attack the cows, you're attacking the whole functioning of the universe. But at the moment, many people are very disconnected to this functioning of the universe. So we tend to think that cows are just some interesting animals which give milk. But thank you for that. Now, if we go to milk, or let's look at the world situation first. And you see, in India, it was so nice in the past. In a village, you had some cows, you could just gift to newlyweds, like we had a very important wedding this week, sometime, and all these important celebrities and state leaders went to this marriage, and the weds were gifted to beautiful white cows. So that tradition where in every village, when someone got married, they'd just be given some cows was beautiful. But actually, that situation has changed drastically. So if you look at the meat consumption from the 60s to the 2000s, basically we have gone to 15 million tons in 2021. And if you look at, for example, meat in specifically case, we started with 50 metric tons and it reached 350 million metric tons. And India has become the 5th beef exporter in the world. So for all the students in India, in the back of your minds, in your cultural mind, giving cows away is just a natural thing to do. But see, the situation has changed so drastically in the world that it's no longer there. And there's so many miseries, there's wars, there's pestilence. So what Prabhupada is saying about that is something which is very relevant to today's reality. Sorry, Brahminical culture. Yeah. So when you look at milk, I'm going to read this one. Milk, the principles of religions in a liquid form. It is particularly essential for developing the finer tissues of the human brain. I think Simesha Prabhu touched the point, so that one can understand the intricacies of transcendental knowledge. So now here Prabhupada is actually bringing the whole cow protection to a self-realization process, where we, practitioners of bhakti, we need to understand that milk is so important because it does that function in society, in civilization. And Prabhupada was very strongly repeating that point. And we need to be very aware, because today there is a propaganda that milk is not so important anymore. But it is. But it is within a framework of protection, of care. And that's the hard part to achieve. Prabhupada does speak about civilization. He says, without milk, there's no civilization. And finally, I mean, he does speak about independence. I think that was also touched. And our farm project, an extremely important part of our movement. We must become self-sufficient by growing our own grains and producing our own milk. Then there'll be no questions of poverty. So develop this farm community as far as possible. And Prabhupada did say, where there is agriculture, there must be cows. I think Damodar Prabhu brought that point. That's our mission: cow protection and agriculture. And if there is excess, trade. So we could dive in deeper, but we have one more topic to cover. So before I do go into that topic, I just want to ask, is there any questions about this at this point? We could take one question before I present ISKCON Shelter. Yes, someone manifested? Okay, so we'll keep the questions to the end. Let me move on to ISKCON Shelter. This is a very important question. If you're starting a cow protection program, you may want to say, should I run it under ISKCON or not? What are the benefits of actually running a program under ISKCON? Well, the first important thing that anybody can think about an Ahimsa dairy operation is what happens when the leaders of that specific project, they have some issue. That safety net is exactly what is one of the greatest assets of ISKCON, because through your regional bodies, your GBCs, RGBs, there's a continuation, there's a succession plan. Even if the specific person who is starting the project is not able to continue, there's a support system in place today existing that can, to some degree, remedy the situation. So that's really important. And I'd like to bring in Simesha Prabhu, because we're just dealing with a situation in Malaysia. Simesha Prabhu, do you feel that being part of ISKCON helps that continuation? I'm talking because we're dealing with the situation in Malaysia at the moment. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I didn't get you fully, Prabhu.
Okay,
Sorry.
my point is, we're discussing that ISKCON offers a succession plan, offers a safety net for a project when it's not succeeding. So my question to you is, do you feel, as someone who is dealing with this in your yatra, that being part of ISKCON is a plus?
Sorry, I still didn't get you because I'm driving and I can't. There's some internet.
All right. Okay, no problem. I can update them. Basically, so I'll take it from here, right? And there's some sound coming from, I think you're traveling. So in Malaysia, we are dealing with projects, and when there's a need for help, the ministry came along and the GBC came along to help both projects to find balance and equilibrium. And that succession plan is extremely important. We have had many cases of discontinuation where a project starts, it's very enthusiastically starting, and many people have energy, but over time, some members, they basically have some issues, some difficulties, and there's a big commitment to take care of those cows for the next 20 years. So here is where the safety net is something which is very important, to consider as something that is relevant when you're deciding, should I run my project under ISKCON or not under ISKCON, right? Another point which it's there is that we are having education, and you can see that there are many products, groups developing milk products and lines of ahimsa and dairy, ahimsa dairy. And the ministry does offer a hand, on that by, if you see, this is our project. So we have a directory with all the farms, how much dairy is being produced, how many cows and bulls. We just covered all of India. Some of you who are on the call might have received a visit. So having that oversight of the ministry, is very important. Okay? Another really important point is community, because ISKCON has a large congregation. You could easily set up a program to supply a congregation with veggies, with ahimsa dairy. That's what Gita Nagar is doing. They have 100 shares of CSA, meaning they deliver vegetables to families in the different places, and also ahimsa dairy. They offer milk, yogurt, cheese, and different products. So having the community is really, really powerful. The other aspect is that, you see, Prabhupada wanted to have these farm communities to give a spiritual hub. And that's where the whole Brahminical culture is maintained. Otherwise, sometimes we're in a farm and we feel that the spirituality drops, and that's very problematic at times. So also, that's something which helps us with that spiritual connectivity. And naturally, there's a network of goodwill around cow protection. So I've presented why should ISKCON, why could it be beneficial for us to run a project under ISKCON. We could also find reasons why not to run it under ISKCON. But I left here some moments now, we have about 13 minutes, to have a discussion on that. I have here some raised hands, so let me follow that cue. Is it Sitapati Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation of that part, Prabhu. That was exactly my question. Like, what are it's a great sales pitch for it, but like, it's all the benefits, but what's the other side of it? What are the reasons to not do it?
Well, one of the reasons we found some challenges, and I'm going to bring in other experts here, is that usually one ISKCON farm project does not allocate a manager who understands farming very deeply. So you may find yourself in kind of an institutional farming where things are delayed and you're not able to do everything you want. So that's one of the drawbacks some of the projects have had, but that's not the case in New Vrajadam, Hungary. I think we have with us here, Antardi was here with us. He's recovering. He was not feeling very, I'm not sure if he's still with us. He might have dropped the call. Maybe I can bring in Damodar Dulal G.
Yes, bro.
He's asking, what would be one of the reasons why not to do it under ISKCON?
Why not to do? Why to have an individual thing, right?
Yes.
Many a times, because of bureaucracy, people get little disturbed. Sometimes few leaders do not appreciate the efforts behind the endeavor, and they just will calculate in profit and loss immediately. So few things are discouraging, and many a times organized projects have failed because people will look at the watch. They'll say, okay, my time is over. But when a farmer or a cow protector is working, he will not look at the watch. They will start early in the morning, and they will, so another thing is, like, quality is not an accident. It is the result of a will to produce a superior thing. So that happens when you own something. Like Prabhupada said, ownership can turn sand into gold. So that helps when you own. And many a times in any organization, people change and they don't allow that ownership. So that may be a little difficult.
Thank you. I think you've touched on very key points. I don't know if Sitapati Prabhu, are you satisfied with those points?
Yeah, I guess I just if I think about it a little more, what does it mean to run it under ISKCON? Does it mean that it belongs to ISKCON, or is it like ISKCON is like a Brahminical organization and individuals own and run something, and then ISKCON functions like a Brahminical thing, or is it like corporate control and ownership? Is it like being a franchise where they say, now we will vaccinate all the cows everywhere, and then you have no choice? Like you join, for example, we live in a small dairy town, and they had dairy cooperatives, and then they merged them all together to get export markets overseas. Now all the farmers are under the grip of these, the dairy company that controls them. It's their only customer. They have to pay whatever these people will give them. They can't sell it to anyone else, and they have to do exactly what that company says. So I guess, what does it mean to run it under ISKCON? Is it like a loose hand with advice, or is it like corporate control?
Excellent question. I think you're very sharp on your question. And ISKCON at this point doesn't have a clear-cut answer. I can tell you what's been happening. Gitanagari is under ISKCON, but they have the freedom to do what they need to do. We work together cooperatively, as you say, hands-free advice. I don't fly into Gitanagari and say, no, guys, now you have to pay me this much, you have to do this, you have to sell to these people. What happens is we kind of agree on some practices, and we try to bring that to a commonality over the world. So being ISKCON today means you have the freedom, but you have a temple president. He's where your negotiation has to be done. If that negotiation is fully clear and functional, you're functional. Now, for us, the ministry, if your GBC for your area agrees that you are under ISKCON and he's happy with that connection, we accept it as an ISKCON connection. So at this point, every zone has a GBC. If the GBC says this project is affiliated with ISKCON, we accept that. He is the authority in that sense. Now, how he's going to do it, it's not something that I can impose. He has his own managerial style in his zone. So he uses that managerial zone, and we just help out to guide. But we don't have the corporate power you described as of a cooperative. We just assist with education.
I see. It sounds as though the corporate power resides with the GBC.
Yes.
For example, we own our land here, and we have cows here. Can we participate under this or in this? Is there a way for us to participate, or does that need to somehow be, I don't know, given to the GBC, or how does that work?
Who is the GBC in your zone? Is it Devamrita Swami?
Last I checked, it was Devamrita Swami and Ramai Swami.
Okay, so if they're happy with your project and they refer to us as, look, this is how this project works, we are considered an ISKCON. For us, you're ISKCON in the sense of the ministerial role. Feed the Earth project is much broader. For us, if you are interested in the purpose, you are affiliated. So Feed the Earth is a much broader vision where not only ISKCON devotees, but outside ISKCON community, we have connections to push this mission forward. But for the ministerial, the discussion with your GBC is very important, especially for the safety net. What happens when Sitapati and Dana Devi says, hey, we need to do something different for our children. We need to do this project. And you have so many cows. So how is that balanced? One of the things we offer, Sitapati, is a certificate of readiness, which gives you like a framework of everything that there is. And you understand, oh, how will I be in 5, 10, 15 years from now? So that's a very interesting proposition. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. You have another one. Just hold on a sec. Let's see if we have Jagannath. We'll come back to you. Jagannath Prabhu from the UK. Yes.
Hi, Krishna. So I know that there's some kind of training for folks who want to do GBC and that kind of stuff, you know, if you want to go into management. What about for those who, you know, at some point they want to give their time and talents and take responsibility?
So if I understand your question,
kind of program for that.
You're saying what happens if someone gives their time and talents for cow protection agriculture? Is that right?
Yeah, but they're willing to do that, but is there kind of a system that you can plug into, you know, because a little bit like Sitapati Prabhu, sometimes you find yourself kind of knocking on people's doors and saying, no, we're not really interested in that. So that's kind of my, you know, how do we plug in? Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that beautiful question.
Yes.
You see, like what's happening, Jagannath Prabhu, is that we starting from the basis. So we're offering the first course now, which is an online course. But the next step of it is that we need to now move to the mentorship. So if you want to learn this specific aspect, let's say you want to learn about animal training, ox power, we refer you to Hungary. And we're establishing a contract that you know exactly how you can go there, what are the conditions. And once you do that, now you become accredited by the ministry as someone has completed the cow protection, let's say, module 1 diploma. And over time, our plan is to create a whole network of roles and jobs where people will actually be able to be in cow protection program, to be called on from different people, as trained devotees have the abilities and capacities to do that work. Is that right?
Excellent. Thank you.
Very good. We don't seem to have hands raised up. Oh, Padma. Okay.
Padma had her hand.
Okay, I can take your hand from this. Okay, and then you have Damadadala. Padma Mataji, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you. Yes, so I just wanted to mention that, you know, with regards to doing cow protection within ISKCON, what I have observed on New Govardhan and also other farms is that if the social dynamics within a farming community support cow protection, it can make a big difference to the success of cow protection. Like, in other words, whether whether the devotees who are working within the cow protection program, whether they are supported by other community members, and what the sort of dynamics are in that way, and what is the profile of the cow protection team within a particular community. So I just wanted to add that, because that can actually play a very big role in terms of the success of a cow protection program within an ISKCON community.
Thank you for that. And just to add to what you've just said, our vision, I'm talking of a few ministry members, is that the temple cow protection program is a hub to link to many different hubs around that. Just like a Bhakti Vriksha is connected to the temple. So over time, Grihastas will have different levels of affiliation to this central hub. Might just be a common desire. It might be a very close, tight agreement. We're developing that. So I think that's very important. I have the methodology here, and after that, I think we have to start closing the session because of time. Okay?
Yeah. So cows are Krishna's cows. If they are ISKCON's cows or non-ISKCON cows, we are helping everybody. And so I just want to tell everyone also that Kalakanta Prabhu very graciously was welcoming Piyush Bhai, who is here in our course. And he is from a very big organization called Srimad Rajchandra Trust. They have organized, they are from Jain community, and they have an organization, and they are into animal care, cow protection. They have 350 cows in Gujarat, and they want to make a state-of-the-art 40-acre hospital for animal care for 1,500 animal shelter home. So he's also here to learn and apply whatever little principles he can learn from the course. So I just wanted to make that point is we are open, or rather we want to serve each and every individual or organization who wants to learn about cows and agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I thought of many times call on Piyush, but I wasn't sure if I should at this point, but thank you for bringing him up.
No, he's in a train now, so better we do it. Piyush Bhai is in a train, he just, but still is on, and he's traveling to Dharapur. So, are you there?
I No problem, Damadalo. We'll bring him on a different session. Now, I think his participation is very important to note, because this is be more and more a reality to have more diverse groups joining us. Purushottam Kshetra Prabhu is a leader in Gita Nagari. He's here with us, and he's been very instrumental in many actions of the ministry. You are in Gita Nagari at the moment, right?
That's true, yes.
Okay. In another session, Purushottam Kshetra, I'd like to bring you on, and there's few points where Gita Nagari excels. I'd like to have your expertise there.
Of course.
We'll discuss that. Okay. So now, just to kind of finalize, I will tell you a little bit about the course structure, and that is important because it will guide you. So, like today, there are other 5 Zoom sessions. Okay, they are on the 29th of July. We're going to hear from India. The Mayapur devotees are really very good at organizing different systems. This is grazing, which is a method we will also talk about. It's something we would like to have in many of our projects. And the sessions will move on. You have the calendar. You just received your welcome pack. Our team organized letter for you. 12th of August, and then the 28th of August, 9th of September, and we finalize on the 23rd of September. Now, in between the 2 sessions, there are videos, activities. The whole course happens in between sessions. And for that, you need your password and login, which is Raman. He's a IT support. He's going to give you that. And to be able to get your login, you need to fill in the last form, which is the payment form. Student who's got scholarship, they can do that. If you have any issue with banking, you can call him. He will give you the password anyway, and then we'll follow up. Okay? So this is how we're doing it. And the reason we have a fee is because we're developing this, and we have to travel to places, record. You see the filmmaker traveled from Israel to India, and we recorded all there. And now we continue to do that. I'm going to Europe, and I'm going to film many places. So we're developing the courses. So your fee is assisting us to develop the course series. And I hope you all enjoy this very much. I'm going to share the connection of Raman, so that all of you in the group can actually contact him. He already has a few members who we have cleared their registration. So you will be receiving your password, but get in touch with him to get that organized. Okay? I think we are 4 minutes over time. But I'd like to acknowledge that we have a very special group from Australia. Kaliya Krishna Prabhu, he's inspired a small team. So I'd like just to call on him. Are you there, Kaliya Krishna Prabhu?
I am, Kalakanta Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Could you tell us what was your impression of the meeting? Is there any takeaway from today?
Well, I'd like to just like to thank you, Prabhu, for taking the initiative to establish a consolidated and across the kind of globe standards. I've discussed with you on a personal basis that we've run into different difficulties due to my inexperience and lack of consultation. And I wouldn't really like to wish that on any farm, but I'd like to go forward and take the advantage of having devotees here with me. I've got our farm manager, Manapati, who's had a lot of experience on farms and has been growing some wonderful organic produce here on Yugo
Krishna, Ganapati.
So he's a bit of a ring-in. We'll have to give you an extra donation, but I'm glad that he came along tonight. And I've got Seisha, who's been brought up with cow programs in Fiji, got a lot of experience. So I think between us and, with the standards that the course can offer, we'll be able to, establish a basic cow care program. And I think if you put me on the spot and ask me what is the purpose of cow protection, I'd have to say that one thing is that the cow is our mother, and a lot of important spiritual, emotional, spiritual, experience is gained by having a proper understanding of the needs of other creatures, and especially the Vedas emphasize the relationship between cows and humans. And so I'd like to thank you for giving this opportunity for all the programs now and in the future to learn from the experience of devotees and not have to go through the school of hard knocks, especially put the animals through that unfortunate situation.
Thank you for that, Kaliya Krishna. That's wonderful. I'm very happy that you have a team with you, and that's exactly what we are trying to accomplish with this, to bring all the farms together with a very strong networking and education, consultancy, goodwill. And the ministry is trying to make that common platform. So it's so exciting to see you here with the team. At the back, is that Adam?
Adam's also with our team. They're on a different computer. There's two Adams, Adam Rouse and Adam Kowalski.
Okay.
They're both interested in helping with the future development. We have about 57 cows and bulls.
Nice.
Satsanga's here too. He's another one of our devotees that was helping with the cow milk.
Welcome.
We had the cow milking. So.
Okay, fantastic.
Herbal.
Hare Krishna.
I'm one of the Adams.
Oh, yes, one of the Adams. Adams Karlovsky. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being with us, Adam. So everyone, I'd like also to mention that India has had a major response to the course. There are many students from India, Hitka, Suni, Dinan Dayal, and Bhajanarayanan, Haridas, Nitacharan, so many devotees. Radhakund Prabhu, a senior Vaishnava from Mumbai in Rishikesh, doing excellent preaching. So I'm very grateful to all of you to be here. And please be in touch with Raman to get your login. You should be in the next hour or so, you'll be released and you have access to the platform. And our next meeting on Zoom is scheduled for the 29th. Okay? My very heartfelt gratitude to all of you to being here. I miss Suratanath, a great friend in Mulamba, New Govardhan. He's here with us tonight. Hare Krishna, Suratanath. And I hope that this course will be beneficial for all of us and that Krishna and our spiritual masters will be satisfied with this endeavor. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And I will be in touch with all of you. We'll end the session now. If you want to
Hare Krishna.
say Hare Krishna, it will be very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, Kalakanta Prabhu,
Yes.
before the next course, what is the homework which they have to do? You can, because they'll get some videos. So what they have to watch, can you please tell them? So it will be nice that they come prepared.
Yes, actually, the videos have assignments in the platform. They'll have everything organized there. So there's an assignment they have to do, and then there is the answer key is right there. They can check it themselves. Yeah. Okay.
Haribol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sanak Sanatanaji, you there?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, nice to see you. I hadn't noticed. Now I notice you're there.
I was as a whole course, and I'm really busy. I was the MC for Lokanath Maharaj Vyas Puja, and I just in my break I quickly ate and attend the course.
Wow. Oh, glorious.
Now I'm going for the second round.
Okay, next session, we'll hear more from you. Okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Haribol.
Gaura Premanand.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.